So let's go for a quick revision. Though we are in the chapter 7, let us revise what we covered till now in a very quick manner. Hare Krishna, thanks all for joining once again. We had a very long gap due to the summer vacation. Now we are back. Let us resume the Bhagavad Gita um, discourse. Hare Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita is a conversation happened between Krishna and Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Um, so it happened 5,000 years ago when Arjuna was put into a dilemma that I will not fight after assembling in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Um, why this war happened? Because Krishna doesn't encourage this war. He went in as a peace messenger um, to get the 5 lands for Pandavas from the Kauravas, but Duryodhana outrightly rejected and he insulted Krishna. So war was inevitable, and though it was spoke on the war field, but the whole Bhagavad Gita doesn't encourage violence at all. It always says how to lead the life, how to live the life. This is what the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. So, in summary, the chapter this whole conversation happened around 45 minutes, and it has 18 chapters and 700 slokas. The chapter 1, which is like observing the armies in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So there, after assembling, they are both the parties how strength they are assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra been explained, and the Pandavas Shanka name been mentioned in detail. And the war was about to begin. At the time, Arjuna was put into a dilemma, and he's saying I will not fight. And how it started, Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya. Sanjaya been blessed with a special mercy from Vyasadev. He can see what is happening in the battlefield of Kurukshetra by sitting in the nearby, Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was born by blind. So he was asking Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra vacha, धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेदायुत्सवः मामका पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत Sanjaya. So what my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, what they are doing. Okay, because he was doubting the Punya Kshetra, the Kurukshetra, did that change the mind of my son, because they were determined to fight, but is there any reason where they got changed? So that is the reason he want to reconfirm that. So what are the 5 reasons Arjuna giving not to fight? Because he was having a compassion on a bodily platform. He was seeing the friends and my family members are assembled, why I need to fight? Then he is saying whatever enjoyment I am going to get from this fighting to win this kingdom, I'm not going to really enjoy. Then he is fearing of the sinful reaction, because he is going to kill, and that killing will incur a sin for him and his family. So he was fearful of it. Then destruction of family tradition, he was thinking the family tradition will be destroyed, and he was unable to take any decision. Then he is surrendering to Krishna from the friendly form to the disciple form. So Karpanya. So that is a turning point of Bhagavad Gita. So Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna, and he's asking what he has to do. Then the second chapter, which is the summary of all the 18 chapter and all the 700 slokas. So Lord Krishna patiently listening all these things. Then he is talking now. Okay. Sorry, I will go to this sloka. So he is talking. So this chapter will be fine. Arjuna talking first Krishna talking about the Sankhya philosophy, which is nothing but the difference between body and soul. Okay, the analytical study of matter and spirit. Like that is what Krishna is speaking initially, because Arjuna is like on a bodily platform, he is refusing to fight, correct? So he is asking like, hey, we are not the body, we are the soul. So then he is explaining like the 30 characteristics of the soul in detail. Soul is eternal, imperishable, and we can never kill the soul. Soul is like not submergible in the water, etc., etc. So he's giving the comparison to the he is giving the comparison between like a body and the soul. So then he is talking about karma kanda. Karma kanda is nothing but okay, we have to do our duty. You will get the result, either enjoy the result or like a suffer with the result. So Arjuna as a Kshatriya, his duty is to fight, correct? As a Kshatriya, like okay, he can never refuse to fight. So what Arjuna claims, if I fight, I will go to the, I will get the sinful reaction. But Krishna says, if you didn't fight, then you will get the sinful reaction because you are refusing to do your duty. So that is how he is instructing him to fight. Like a dishonor is worse than the death for a soldier, like for a Kshatriya. So fight, karma kanda. Then he is elevating like a Arjuna into Buddhi Yoga or Nishkama Karma Yoga. You do the work, but surrender the results to the Lord so that you don't have any attachment, like you will not get any sinful reaction, and you will be able to get out from the cycle of birth and death. Okay, that is how he's saying fight, but without attachment. Then Arjuna having a query like, hey, whatever you're explaining, it is a little tough to understand. Can you let me know like what is the symptoms of a self-realized soul, which is Sthita Prajna? Then Krishna says, okay, he is free from the desire to enjoy the senses. He will have a steady mind. He will not differentiate between good and evil. He will have a taste for devotional service. Okay, he will control the senses and engage all his senses to the in the service of Krishna. Okay, so by being in this manner, we can enter the kingdom of God. That is how Krishna says. Okay, then he is saying the nasti buddhir ayuktasya nacha ayuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata santir asantasya kutastukam. One who is not connected to devotional service or Krishna consciousness, he will not have steady mind. Since he don't have the steady mind, he will not have the peace. Since he don't have the peace, he will not have the happiness also. That is how he is ending the chapter. So in principle, in chapter 2, like he is talking about Shankya Yoga, then Karma Kanda, then Karma Yoga and Sakama Karma Yoga or Nishkama Karma Yoga, which is Buddhi Yoga. Then he is talking about the symptoms of the self-realized soul. In this 18th chapter, the first 6 chapter predominantly talking about karma yoga, do your duty and like hey, don't expect the result, surrender the results to Lord. The middle 6 chapter talking about bhakti yoga, last 6 chapter talking about the jnana yoga. Okay, then the 3rd chapter, Arjuna asking like, hey, if you think the knowledge is better than the Bhakti Yoga or the Nishkama Karma Yoga is better than anything, then why you engage me in this ghastly warfare? What Arjuna thought about Nishkama Karma Yoga or renunciation, it is renunciation of the work. Then, but Krishna is explaining it is not renunciation of the work, it is renunciation in the work. You do the duty, get the result, but the result surrender to Lord. That is what Krishna is clarifying. Then he is saying, okay, there is no work dedicated for Krishna. Okay, but still Krishna does, because he want to set the right expectation to the future generation. Like then he is talking about King Janaka, all the 12 Mahajans, like all those things. Then he is saying, uh, we should perform our work, like we should not ignorant of the work. Then purpose of Bhagavad Gita, he is talking about work only for Krishna, 3.30, correct? Mai sarvani karmani sanyas adhyatma chetasaga nirasir nirmamo bhutva yuddhayasva vigada jvara. Without self motivation, okay, follow my teachings properly, without any envy, free from lethargy, like a stand up and fight. Okay, by doing that, you will have bondage from the material world and you will attain the perfection. Okay, so then Arjuna getting all this explanation. One second. So then Arjuna is saying, whatever you are explaining, okay, this Nishkama Karma Yoga, it is, it seems like easy, but very tough to perform. So understanding is like, okay, a little easy, but tough to perform. How I can, how everyone is still engaged, like knowing all these things, but still they are engaged in the lust. No, he's not saying like a lust. Why all the people are like still committing the sin? Then Krishna says it is lust only, Arjuna, because lust is not like okay only the sexual desire. It is about anything which is not connected to Krishna. Okay, if you want to achieve that, that is the lust. Okay, if you want to enjoy your senses and not getting the services to Lord, then it is the lust. So Krishna says, okay, due to the lust only, uh, we all are getting engaged, okay, entangled in this material world. Hmm? So, how to conquer the lust? Like, okay, that is what Krishna says. What are the sitting places of the lust? Senses, mind, intelligence, all these places, like, hey, which is covering the soul's intelligence. Okay, so how to get away from this? We have to conquer the lust. Okay, we have to engage our senses in the service of Krishna. While we are engaging the senses in the service of Krishna, then it is possible to overcome the lust. Okay, because we are regulating the senses, we are regulating the performance like a with duties and with detachment. So then it is possible. So this is very very important because the three gateways to hell is lust, anger, and greed. Anything which we want to achieve for our own senses, okay, that is lust. If the lust is getting fulfilled, then it becomes greed. We want to achieve more. If the lust is unfulfilled, okay, then we are getting anger. So that is how this uh, three things, okay, which is lust, greed, anger, is making us entangled in this material world, and we are getting ourselves prepared for entering to hell. So we need to overcome that by engaging our senses, our activities, our mind, intelligence in terms of like a Krishna consciousness activities. So I stop here. Anyone have any reflection or like a, are you able to understand all these things? Any points to add? Please add. Hare Krishna, hope everyone is listening. Hello, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Listening, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Hope everyone is listening. I just
Yes,
want.
yes.
Yeah.
No. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what covered like till now the third chapter. Then the fourth chapter. Fourth chapter is called transcendental knowledge. The transcendental knowledge. Then Krishna saying like this transcendental knowledge I passed to sun god Vivaswan, from Vivaswan to like Manu, from Manu to Ikshvaku, from likewise like the whole knowledge been transferred, but over a period of time like this disciplic succession been broken, and whenever there is a decline in religion and irreligious practices, like I appear millennium after millennium to re-establish the knowledge. So this is what like a Krishna says. Then Arjuna having a query. You are explaining to me now, but sun god Vivaswan is like a very old in age. How I can understand like you are explaining to sun god? Then Krishna said, both you and me taken the birth. Like okay, I remember the birth, death, and maintenance of like all, but you remember only your life in the current life only. So that is how Krishna is establishing his authority. Then Krishna says, okay, the famous sloka comes like a paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha duskrutam dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. Then yada yada gi dharmasya glanir bhavadi bharada abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So recently also like a last week we celebrated the Janmashtami. So whenever there is a decline in religion, even today, even now, Krishna will appear in one part of the universe, like in any of one of the universe. Okay, that is how Krishna keep appearing to re-establish the dharma. Then we seen the most important sloka, janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti. So Arjuna. Then Krishna says like why the other thing is like he says okay ye etamam prapadyande tamsata eva bhajamyaham mama vartmano vartante. So he says like as we surrender, Krishna reciprocates, but more often Krishna reciprocates more than our deserving capacity or like a deserving capability, because we hardly remember Krishna, but he gives us so much of wealth and so much of like okay material things. Even for some of the atheists also, he doesn't discriminate. Okay, he's a devotee, he's a atheist, and even like how the sun gives the same level of brightness and heat to everyone. The similar way, like a rain also, he doesn't discriminate. Okay, he is a devotee, I will give the water only to him. He is non-devotee, I will not give it to him. So likewise, like a Krishna never discriminate. Though he says, okay, ye tamam prapadyande. As you surrender, like okay, I will reward them accordingly. But Krishna deserve, Krishna gives us more than what we deserve. Okay. So then he says, like he created the Varnashrama Srishta. That Varnashrama is like okay, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, Vaishya, then Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. Okay, but in any ashrama, wherever we are in, we can do the devotional service. That is the beauty of devotional service. Okay, so that Varnashrama Dharma has to be maintained. And then he says, okay, how everyone will get that Varnashrama Dharma? It is not by birth. Okay, it is guna and karma. Which mode you are in? Like there are three modes, correct? Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Like okay, sattva, tamasic, and rajasic. Yeah, because of our modes and our karma, like okay, our previous karma, prarabdha karma, a lot of karmas are there. Like that is a very detailed topic, and karma is very very difficult to understand. Okay, so this is how he says, okay, Arjuna, therefore perform your duty and fight for Krishna with a detachment. Then Krishna explaining about the intricacies of action, like action, inaction, and forbidden action. What is karma, akarma, and vikarma? Can anyone say what is karma, what is akarma, and what is vikarma quickly? Correct.
Karma is Hare Krishna. Karma is doing the duty,
Yes.
rightful duty. Akarma is inaction, and vikarma is the wrongdoing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Akarma
the
is inaction means what? What does it mean inaction?
it is like not fulfilling the duties. If I understand it
No,
right,
no, no,
and
no.
vikarma is the wrong thing.
So,
No, Maji.
so karma is
Uh,
devotional
Yeah,
duty in devotional service,
yeah, correct. Yeah. So
and
karma
karma is
means
fruitful duty for fruits.
sorry.
karma is do the duty, you will get the result, whether you enjoy the result or like a suffer with the result. Akarma means akarma. Anything which you put like a in front of any word, it becomes like a negated. So akarma means like a no karma. It is you do the duty, you surrender the results to Lord, so you are not going to get uh, any reaction from it. Okay.
Reaction for that.
Yeah,
Right, right.
correct. Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
by doing that, two things you will do. You will not get any results for fruitive action results, and you don't need to get birth in this material world. Okay, you don't need to get go through again like a birth and punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, like that will not be there, because you are getting out of the birth of cycle of birth and death. That is akarma. Then
Akarma. Okay.
vikarma means forbidden action. Like so,
Forbidden act.
whatever
Okay.
not prescribed in the scripture, if we do that, then it becomes like a vikarma. So he says, okay, you renounce all the activity. The renunciation, whatever Krishna is saying, it is not like okay, sannyasa. It is sannyasa in action while doing the action. It is not okay renunciation of the work. It is renunciation in the work. You do the work, but renunciate the result. Very very important. Everyone can able to understand, correct? It is not a renunciation of the work. It is renunciation in the work. Okay. So then Krishna describes various sacrifice recommended for like all the Varnashma people. Like so, brahmachari, like they uh, what to say? They sacrifice their hearing process. Grahastha sacrifice their money earned, like okay, from doing the work. They will donate to the sannyasi. They will donate to like a other devotional service. Likewise, like all those things been explained. Okay, that is the fourth chapter. Then the fifth chapter is talking about again like the whatever he was asking in the third chapter. Again, Arjuna is asking the same query. Uh, it is renunciation is better or work in devotion is better. Then Krishna replies, devotion service is superior. Like okay, then this is what we have seen as going to the floor 1 to floor 100 via lift or via lift or via
Yes.
stairs. Yeah, correct. So both will give the same result, but the time taken it will differ. Correct. The time taken to reach the floor 1 to 100 differs. Like okay, so that is what Krishna says. It is better to do the devotion service rather than what to say, rather than the jnana yoga. Someone. Okay. So then he says, okay, There is a Nishkama Karma Yoga. Again, he's explaining about. He's again talking about the whole of Nishkama Karma Yoga. Then results of acting in Krishna consciousness, how he's talking about the Ashtanga Yoga in a very brief, so to perform the Ashtanga Yoga, you have to be in the 8 stages, like Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dana, Dharana, then Samadhi state, so one can become free from the desire, fear, anger, and fully liberated through Ashtanga Yoga. So he's talking about how to attain the supreme in various ways. Ashtanga Yoga is one of them, but it is very tough to perform. It is not easy, especially in this Kali Yuga. So that is how he is explaining. You better perform the devotional service. Okay, then he is talking about the peace formula. What is the peace formula? Anyone can say? What is the peace formula Krishna is talking?
I remember, Prabhu, it is in 5th chapter, 29 sloka. I'll tell you, give me a second.
Yeah. Seeing Krishna in everyone. Bhoktaram.
Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. Correct.
Okay, very good, Mazi. Very good. Okay, very good, Manish. So what does it mean?
Krishna is the provider, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam, and he is the benefactor and the beneficiary. Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, he is the Lord of the entire universe. Suhurdam Sarva Bhutanam, he is the friend of all the living beings, the entire universe, 84 lakh species of living beings. And Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati, the one who understands this fact is always at peace, because he is the provider, he is the beneficiary, he is the benefactor, he is the friend of everybody, and he is the Lord of the universe. So if we are aware of this simple thing, then there is nothing to worry and nothing to fear.
Yeah, very good, Matsi. Very good. Yeah, that was correct. So then, 5th chapter we completed. 6th chapter mainly talking about the Ashtanga Yoga only. In that Ashtanga Yoga, how to perform how to attain the supreme via the Ashtanga Yoga. So advancing in yoga through detached work, that detached work, it would be initially in the yoga Rudha stage, then yoga Ruruksu stage, then how to control the mind, the turbulent mind. So Sanchalam ki Manaha Krishna, Pramati Balavadridam, Tahyasam Nigraham Manne, Vayur Iva Suduskaram. So what Krishna says, Arjuna is asking, it is very, very difficult to control the mind, because the mind is very turbulent. How I even control the wind, but unable to control the mind. Krishna says, okay, yeah, that is correct. There is no doubt. It is not easy to.
From Asamsaya Mahabaho, Mano Durnigraham Balam. Abhyase Vairagyenacha. I know this.
Correct.
Abhyasa means Vairagyenacha. What was the last one? Abhyasena to Kaunteya, Vairagyena something. I don't know. I forgot the last part.
So it is nothing but Abhyasa means practice. It is possible. It is difficult to control the mind.
Detachment.
Yeah, detachment. Practice and detachment. By doing this, we can control the mind. Okay, so that is how he says. Okay, it is possible to control the mind in this. Control the mind in this manner. So then the topmost yogi, like yoginam api sarvesham madgade nandaratmanaha shraddhavan bhajate yovam tame yuktatamo madaha. Okay, so out of all the yogis, one who is thinking about me all the time is the topmost yogi. So he's saying like that is the topmost yogi. So he is ending there. Then he's just giving the details for the next one, like which is Bhakti Yoga, the knowledge of the absolute. Okay, knowledge of the absolute, where he's going to explain about like the whole of Bhakti Yoga. Yeah.
Prabhuji, your voice is getting cut. We cannot hear you.
Manji, correct. So the knowledge of the absolute. So first we have to know Krishna by the process of hearing about him. So till now, Krishna speaking and Arjuna listening. But when he's starting about the Bhakti Yoga, he immediately says, okay, Tashrunu, please hear attentively, because now I am going to talk about the Bhakti Yoga. So he's saying, okay, the whole Krishna as the source of both material and spiritual energies. All the three modes are like controlled by Krishna. So we have to surrender. So we covered till 7.19. We will again take only this 7.19 sloka today, and we will end today's class. Then we will see like next week how to take it forward from there. Okay. So who will surrender to Krishna? All those things like we have seen. So that sloka, which is Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyade Vasudevaka Sarvamidhi Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. What does it mean? After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes. And all that, such a great soul is very, very rare. So it is not easy to surrender to Krishna. But after many births and deaths, like okay, he who is actually in knowledge, one who got the real knowledge, they only can surrender to Krishna, because surrendering to Krishna is not easy. Krishna consciousness is not easy. Like okay, it is very, very rare. It is durlabham, sudurlabhaha. It is not even rare. It is very, very rare to see. Okay, knowing me to be the cause of all causes. Krishna is the cause of all causes. If you see like a Brahma Samhita, when Brahma got the instruction from Lord like to create the whole universe, then Brahma appreciating the glories of the Lord. Okay, that is what Brahma Samhita. So that Brahma Samhita starts, Ishwaraha Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. You are the cause of all causes. So that has to be understood. Such a very great soul is like a very, very rare to see. So this is what the thing, like now the Zoom may disconnect. I would like to end the class also because I want to have like a quick brief. If I request, I will share the recording of this. Please hear and come to the next class so that like we can start continuing the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Anyone quickly want to add? Please revise and come next class. We will have the 7.20 onwards, like the Bhakti Yoga section of it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah.
Krishna, Prabhu, the three karmas that you are referring to, that is Sankshipta karma,